On today's show, we are in the new 2023 Chevrolet Silverado ZR2 Bison, and this thing is a lot of trucks. You can see we got the AEV. That's because it's with the Bison, it's going to have a lot of AEV products in it. And we'll do a walk around of this thing, and we're going to give some driving impressions of it. But first, I want to tell you guys, please, we're on our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and we're almost there. And with your help, we can be there. So if you like kind of quirky, weird auto news, we're the channel for you. So join in, smash that like button, and join in. We are in this new truck, and it's been a while since I've been excited about Chevrolet products. I don't know, something about from the 90s, which I just love their 90s trucks, to about the mid 2000s. To me, they started losing their way, and this truck right here just shows that they're back in the full-size segment. They know what they're doing. They didn't go over the top with this thing. I mean, they could have put every color inside the truck plausible, like nothing, all the dash, everything looks great. They've got just a little hint of their styling for some stitching in this truck to kind of make it unique and special for the Silverado line. You know, this is not like a high country or they're just luxury package, but you get a lot of luxury features about this thing. And first off, you're getting that big horsepower in this thing, which is pretty exciting, because I'm gonna let Kelly stomp on it right here and just see what happens. She always gets a little evil grin when she does this, by the way. So, Kelly, this thing will get up and go, right?
It will. It actually will. You can definitely feel it, though. Like, you can feel that you're pushing a bigger truck compared to some of the other vehicles that we've tested that have a lot of horsepower. But you can definitely feel it has a lot of... It has to pull a lot to get that horsepower, too.
These are definitely heavy trucks. Mm-hmm. So we've done a couple times in the TRX, and that, of course, that's a supercharged V8 Hemi. So it's got all kinds of torque. It's going to push you back in your seat, where this is just naturally aspirated V8 engine. So this is more of a middle ground, I think, to like if you want to actually daily use this, where a TRX to me is it's a super truck, as it were. It's not really made to go do truck things. I mean, you can tow with it a little bit. You can have some fun with it, but I think this overall, you can do more truck-like things with it. If you want to haul, probably a nice camper. The tow rating's great on this. I'll put some numbers up on that. But this, if you have to compare it to a Raptor or the TRX, I think this is a more middle ground vehicle.
Yeah, this is definitely that balance between taking it, having fun with it, and being the workhorse that it's built to be.
Yeah.
So you definitely have that difference here. Like Dave said, you know, those others are kind of sports cars-y version of a truck, but this is actually going to give you the best of both worlds. So with that, you are going to lose a little bit of that race car-y feel with it. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're going. Where do you find that balance? Do you want one to haul and one to play, or do you want to go ahead and be able to play a little bit with both?
Yeah, of course, with this thing, you're going to get front and rear lockers on it, so you're getting a lot of good features to it. A lot of good off-road features.
So Sid, you're sitting in the back seat. Most of the time, that's where you're going to spend, because, you know, mom and dad take the front and the back, or the front and the side. So tell me, first impressions, how do you feel about the comfort of where you're sitting?
It's very comfortable. I have a water bottle spot.
Yeah, a lot of water bottle spots around this thing.
Yeah, we have a few. I have a spot for my phone, too. That's very nice. And there's a lot of leg room.
Yeah,
there's a lot of leg room.
Says the 5'5" kid in the back, but hey,
it's nice.
It's a lot of leg room for that 5'5", and we all know that you got to have the comfort. So in the long term, what do you think? In a long term trip, how do you feel like you would feel in this vehicle? Do you feel like it might be comfortable, or do you think that there might be some quirks that get in the way? How do you feel about that?
I feel like it'd be pretty comfortable, but with all the stuff in the back, I think I would have plenty of space too.
All right, this is the on-ramp, Kelly. You know what to do here. You got to get going on this ramp, right?
Yep, once I make sure I'm clear to get going.
This big V8, there's no worry about. You've got plenty of power to listen at her go. You've got plenty of power to get out there on the highway. And as far as being on the highway, this is where I wanted to hear how quiet was this thing going to be. I don't feel like we're having to talk any louder.
No, I think we've got a great conversation volume. I don't feel like we have to talk really up here to have a conversation.
Yeah. And you get in some of your lesser trims, you definitely can notice that the volume is amped up a little bit. But once again, this is a more high-end vehicle, but it's an off-road vehicle. So I'm always happy that you still get some kind of quiet luxury features in this off-road vehicle. So let's just enjoy the road. All right, finally, Kelly gave the keys to me. Let me drive. And we're on the scenic road. It's beautiful out here. Couple things I've noticed about this vehicle. One is the 6.2 V8 in this thing isn't what you think it is. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just if you're comparing this completely, like we talked about a little earlier, if you're comparing this thing completely to a TRX or a Raptor, you're going to be sadly mistaken about it. But it is. I think Chevy's goal for these types of trucks is middle ground. They want to be middle ground of everything. They don't want to be the best of one thing like this. Because if Chevrolet wanted to spend the most money and be the best at this style truck, they could. They'd put a supercharger on this thing, put some crazy suspension under it, and they would get the zoomies that way. But what they want to do is keep their customer, their loyal customers, they want to give them something without them jumping ship to a different brand. I think this is the perfect vehicle for Chevrolet to do that. But the horsepower in this thing, it is not 700 horsepower plus like the TRX. It's just not. So, but you're going to get towing capabilities in this, which I think far out exceed what the TRX or Raptor can do. Ride comfort is amazing in this, I'm not going to lie. This is the AEV version, so it better damn well be the best of the best it can be, and I really think it is. Ultimately, at $85,000, it's $84,909, something like that, as tested. Would I give that kind of money for this kind of vehicle? I don't know. It would be a tough one. Kelly, would you spend that kind of money on this?
I wouldn't spend it. You know where my money is going to go. My money is going to go to a Sequoia, or it's going to go towards a TRX because I want a vehicle that is going to.
You want the best of the best.
I do.
Yes.
I do.
So either TRX or the Raptor would be on that. But I think for that buying segment, the kind of super truck buying segment, I think this works better for a daily than any of those others do. So on a scale of 1 to 10 on creature comforts of this thing, I'm going to give this thing a 9 because it really does have everything, other than the fact that it's subscription based, which I think would annoy you if you bought this. And I have seen reviews of people being upset that they bought one of these to be one of the first to get one and then found out, crap, I got to pay him extra to get all the features. That's kind of a bummer. I hope GM doesn't hang on to that philosophy, and I hope that they adapt and overcome that. But as far as engine, everything like that, I'm going to get it a 7.5. I still think that's a good number, and this is a working man's truck. So this is, once again, it's the guy that wants a badass Chevrolet truck with some off-road features, because you're getting front and rear lockers. There's a lot of pluses to that. Even on a farm, you take this thing, you do need front and rear lockers because there's times you're pulling something out of the mud or whatever. You want the most traction available. So that is a plus to me. Overall, though, I think this thing is a home run for the Chevrolet brand. And I think other than adding maybe a supercharger to this, I think it is the best that it can be. And the way truck prices are right now, Kelly, you can't get a truck, $50,000 seems like a minimum now for a base truck. So mid-80s, it really isn't out of line if you think about it for what a mid-sized truck costs now. Yeah,
I would agree, absolutely. From vehicles we've tested along the way, we know that 50s is really the range of where we're looking at from a very base starting point. So getting into the 80s, it's like 80s is where everything's starting to sit.
So whether it be two-wheel drive,
four-wheel drive,
does it really matter what you drive?
Well, it does today because we are driving the Chevy ZR2 Bison edition. And we're out.
Peace, everybody. Love y'all. Keep on driving.